controller-swapping Switch console has made its formal debut, as Nintendo dishes the juicy details of its part living room, part portable games machine, including the price and launch titles. We finally got our grubby mitts on the Switch, and having played it a whole bunch, we've learned a thing or two, or 7, about Nintendo's next contender in the ever-raging console war. First up, that whole switching concept, whereby you dock the console under your telly when you're at home, then yank it out to take it on the move. It really works. We were impressed by how quickly the console figured out when it was time to go portable, and when you're looking at a fully fledged Zelda game nestled in your hands that, only seconds ago, was up on the big screen, it's hard not to go, oh, right Nintendo, yeah, I kind of see where you were going with this. If you thought Nintendo had a bad rep for paring its controllers down to the bare minimum, think again when it comes to the Switch. The Joy-Cons, which are the two prongs that stick onto the sides of the console, or can be used independently in multiplayer, are so covered in buttons, they look like little rolls of bubble wrap that have been preserved under a layer of lava. Factor in the hidden SL and SR buttons, and one thing you could never accuse the Switch of is being short of inputs. Having played with the Switch, it's clear you really need to try it out to wrap your brain around the bizarre flexibility of what Nintendo's scientists have crafted, and the only way to really appreciate that is with lots of different games that use the Switch's tech in different ways. But sadly at launch, games are currently looking a bit thin on the ground. Just Dance 2017 is a laugh, but it hardly shows off the Switch at its best, which is a shame as we'd like to see Nintendo's machine make a powerful first impression when it arrives on March 3rd. What might just save Nintendo's bacon though is that one of those launch titles is The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
I mean, come on!
Here Nintendo's second most famous character gets his biggest shake-up in decades, with physics elements and even survival mechanics like crafting feeding into this reinvention of the Zelda formula. It's hard to get a sense of that wider game from our limited hands-on, but Breath of the Wild looks very promising, feeling at first blush like a glorious marriage of the Wind Waker and Skyrim. The Wii U had many launch titles, but it didn't have a Zelda. Nintendo consoles typically arrive with a multiplayer game collection designed to showcase the game's hardware in a frenetic, fun-for-all family sort of way, and the Switch's offering is 1-2 Switch. Now, at the time of making this video, there's a bit of confusion out there over whether 1-2 Switch will come bundled with the console, and for our money, it definitely should. Please clear that up ASAP, Nintendo. The game's fun, and there certainly aren't enough games that ask you to milk a cow while maintaining awkward eye contact with another player. But even compared to Nintendo Land on the Wii U or the almighty Wii Sports for the Wii, which were both designed to offer a gentle multiplayer introduction to new Nintendo hardware, we found the 1-2 Switch is a little primitive. Or maybe I'm just saying that because Ellen beat me on almost everything. What even is the point of playing a game if the controller doesn't become a seamless extension of your cerebral cortex? Happily, we found the Switch fitted snugly into our grasp in all of its many configurations. The Pro Controller will feel pleasantly familiar to PlayStation and Xbox fans, while the Joy-Cons do a serviceable job of replicating that feeling when strapped to the wide and reassuringly weighty Switch, or the Joy-Con grip. We found the controllers intuitive to use, with a particular shout out to the delightfully sensitive rumble features. Tickly. Okay, whether the Switch is a success or not, Nintendo deserves credit for building something that does feel different to any other games machine you can get. Variety is the spice of life, after all. Moreover, the Switch didn't feel to us to be shoddily built or hurriedly thrown together. It's clearly been drawn up with a lot of love and care, and it does feel more like a premium bit of tech than some of Nintendo's past hardware efforts. Of course, that's reflected in the price, which is higher than we would have liked, and with the Switch costing more than a PS4 or Xbox One, Nintendo really has a fight on its hands. So that's what we learned from playing the Switch, but what do you think of Nintendo's new console? Have your say in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And now, back to the milking.